so proud of that
Thank
thing.
you.
Dude, look at this.
Yeah, hold on. Hold on.
It's natural.
This is how we're starting the interview because we have to start from here. What is that?
It is a gourd.
Holy
But I wonder if it organically grows this way or if they like strangle it around the base to get this different head here, you see?
that looks like
It-
I don't want to know that guy. I don't want to know that guy.
I saw it at the grocery store and I said I had to have it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I'm sure. I'm
one
sure you
did-
did say that. All right. Zach saying interview. It's 1,000. Here we go. Positions. Election. Action. Oh my God. I like this shirt this time. It's very like of the time. It's like very Beetlejuicy.
I tried to go spooky with it. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Ween. It doesn't feel like Halloween at all this year, and I'm very depressed.
Let's kind of morph into it because I wanted to start with Halloween. And when I think Halloween, I think a couple things. I think like Jack Skellington. I think Bette Midler. I think Ariana Grande.
Oh, wow.
Very synonymous with the holiday.
Thank you.
What do you say? Does one celebrate Halloween this year in 2020, or do we forego it? Do we figure out a new way to celebrate? What do we do? We've been waiting for an answer.
I think the thing for me that is like most traumatic about this year's Halloween, I mean, of course, the pandemic, but also the fact that Halloween Horror Nights wasn't open this year really, 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 really is traumatic for me. Like deeply, deeply upsetting. I usually go like on both hands, I can count how many times a year. You know this. We know this. Like, Zach and I will walk through the mazes and the haunted houses, and like the actors will be like, Ariana, how are you? And I'm like, what up, ghoul number 6? How's it going? We give a hug in the middle. They're supposed to be acting. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, this is my time. This is my, I feel like I can't, like this year is just now it hits. You know what I mean? Like, why? Of all the things that we couldn't we have just stayed at home for a few more weeks like all the other countries that were fine and are better than we are? Like, did we really all need to go to Saddle Ranch that badly that like we couldn't have waited for the deathly pandemic to pass? Like,
No.
we all really needed to put on our cowgirl boots and ride a mechanical bull that bad.
It is
We all needed that Instagram post that badly.
But by the way, like, it's those selfish moments that really put us in the place that we're in today. But along with Halloween, along with a brand new album for the world to escape in, we have Election Day coming up. So the power is with us. And you had a huge part with Headcount in getting a lot of people registered, but also educating them and mobilizing the next generation. It's rather spectacular. So
thank you. Yeah, it was cool to have Headcount on tour with me and to be able to register over 20,000 people. That, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's amazing. I just remember like my mom and Matt Bennett going to the booths before the shows and being like, want a picture? Well, sign up. Like, it was funny. But yeah, I feel like that was such an awesome thing that we were able to do. And I don't know. I really hope that we're able to make a difference and take back our power this year. Very nervous. We're 17 days away now?
yeah, it's 17 days, but by the time this comes out, it's going to be just a few days from Election Day. So if you haven't been able to vote already, vote in person if you can. But it's all connected here because the Positions music video not only perfectly captures the record, but you do have these obvious and sometimes subtle nods to what we're all facing together. And one of the things that stood out to me that I really appreciated was you were putting a medal on a postal service worker and a group of people that have been so wrongly affected over the last few months. But you do take on this responsibility socially, right? And you do incorporate it in your art when you can.
I do. I think it's important too. And I think that I have kind of always been clear about where I sit with these matters and kind of like tried to work it in a way that is clear and definitive, because I do want the people that watch my work to know how I feel about the world and how I feel about women's rights and how I feel about people being treated equally, and why can't things look like this?
When I heard for positions for the first time, I never thought White House. I never thought presidential, but it shows the depth to that record, but also it really foreshadows the depth to the entire album, top to bottom. What are the different positions that make up your existence?
My existence?
Yeah, who you are.
Oh God, I don't know. Holy shit. I make songs sometimes. I am a dog mom. I am an editor, a producer, a vocal arranger, a writer, a dancer, a friend, a sister, a daughter, a girlfriend. I do a lot of shit. And it's like I have an amazing team and I work with a lot of really great people, but I control every single shot. Like I call every single shot. I control every little thing. And I used to not, and I used to be able to like pass things off and kind of trust people with other things, and then it would go horribly wrong. And now the only option is to literally fill every position. I look at my mom, like my mom's a CEO, an engineer, a mom, like the most fierce, baddest in the world. And I think that I learned a lot of that from her, because she does everything herself as well. Like they can't, and she has an amazing company and she has incredible employees and brilliant engineers that are manufacturing marine communication equipment. Do you know what I mean? Like all day long.
But she's a part of everything, like literally everything.
She has to approve every call, every shot, every position. She plays them all. But this has been a really, really fun experience putting this together and making this. And I think I love my cabinet in the video, my cast in the cabinet.
Meet you in there. We have Tyler in the cabinet. We have Taylor. We have Victoria.
Yeah.
Just an elite group of individuals.
Yeah, a gorgeous, intelligent group of individuals that I love. And I believe that we should see more people in power who look and are like them and us and we. And it's like, how are we going to get this right for a country that is made up of so many different, diverse, beautiful people if the whole is being run by straight white old men? Like, that's just not that's not fair.
And by the way, we have no
like how will we get this right?
And most of those people, those heterosexual white men in power, lack any and all empathy, and they are selfish civil servants, when the reality is we need selfless civil servants to really be the ones representing us.
Or just anyone else. I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
There's a lot
going
on
that's
here.
A long-winded answer.
No, it's perfect. And I'm really excited because we have a whole album to dissect here. And we are going to go track by track as much as possible. Let's start at the top. Why was this the right time to give the world positions? And there's no way it wasn't a hard decision to make.
Oh, yeah. It was hard for me to differentiate between, like, is this an inappropriate time to release because of the state of the world, or is this the appropriate time to release because it's going to make a lot of people feel something bright and something better and be uplifting to people? And at the end of the day, I was like, I'm an artist. This is what I'm supposed to do. I've always kind of tried my very best to take situations and make my fans feel better and make myself feel better, make the world kind of like smile about it or learn from it or whatever, or turn it into art in some way. So I kind of was like, the project is ready. Let me try to make them smile, because I know I have seen them on the timeline worried about their lives and the state of the world all year. And we've kind of like, I've been working and it's done. And I was like, you know what, this is like, everyone is aware of what's happening. I'm aware of what's happening. And this is also my job at the end of the day. And I know that in my heart, this will make a lot of people feel something good. And even just like the day that I tweeted, I can't wait to give you my album this month, the reaction like floored me to the point where I literally am like choked up because I was like, oh, this is like why I do it. Like, this is like, at the end of the day, like why my heart was like, okay, yeah, just drop it, just do it, just let's go, because of them and the love and how it feels and how special that is. It's like really, I really am floored by that still to this day.
I gotta tell you,
Like, I had chills. I was like, am I in BTS? I was like, what is this reaction? I was like, holy. Anyway,
people are looking for light. It's obviously been a really dark time, and as somebody who's been soaking in this album for the last few weeks, it has been the lightest time in my life over the last 8 months or so. 80s.
Oh, it makes me so happy. Thank you for saying that.
People are hungry for an escape from what we're going through. People want to soak in a story and live vicariously through music and just be removed from where they're at and close their eyes and just kind of go for a trip.
Yeah.
And
at the end of the day, I do have to remember that this is still my job. And like, I've been so like consumed with fear for the state of the world for like a very long time that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still supposed to put out the songs and make the fun videos and make people smile. So let's just do it, you know?
How does that make you feel, knowing you have like the power and influence to make so many people in the entire world smile through everything we're going through?
I mean, I forgot that that's what it feels like, and that is in my hands. And when I started talking about the music again, that reaction kind of just like really made me very emotional and very, very grateful, and kind of like I was very emotional that whole couple of days. Like, I felt some type of way, and then I listened to the album 300 times because I was like, holy shit, is it good enough? I was like, wait, hold on. And then but yeah, no, it's a really terrifying but also beautiful thing. And I think that's the thing with the internet as well, is like it can be so beautiful, and you can make so many important relationships and friends and fans and see them come together and form important relationships, and it's so beautiful. And then at the same time, you're scared that you're going to see someone misinterpret your work, and you're nervous about that and whatever. So it's a tricky thing, but I am super grateful for them and anyone who gives a shit about what I have to say or sing or write or share. And it's like such a moving thing in my life. Like, it makes me like, all right, you know, I need to hang up, you know. I feel like need to go call my therapist. It's overwhelming. Sorry, go on.
what goals did you set for yourself, vocally, creatively, personally, before embarking on this process?
No, I think the goal for this was to not only continue the story, because I feel like there's a through line with my projects now. I feel like there's a clear, oh, cool, you know, this is a person's life feeling that goes with it. To continue that through line, but also to sing a little more. I think I was very excited to focus on narrative and making fun bops for a little while, and I miss really singing more. I wanted to sing a little more on this one, and it felt nice to be creating from a more healed place, which is nice. I know a lot of people love Thank You Next and want me to always make something like that, I think, but again, I think that I'm happy that that was executed as well as it was, and I'm happy to not be in that kind of pain anymore and to be in a new chapter. So it felt really nice. I think the goal was to create something that felt more vocal and more healed as a reflection of kind of where I am at. And it's been almost 2 years since Thank You Next, so that's really cool, and also a long time for me, I feel like. So I'm grateful that people still care to hear what I have to say.
By the way, yours truly is where this story starts, and
yeah, for sure.
It will take us all the way to Positions. Do you heal and then write the records, or do you only heal after you tangibly
it's all simultaneous, and I think that that's kind of like evident when you hear like Off the Table, Heading into Safety Net, kind of that like fear about new love, and kind of like terrified that you're going to be the thing that holds this back from being the successful, happy, healthy love, and you know, like, and that your trauma is going to be what contributes, you know. So it's like, I think it kind of is hand in hand. I think the music and the healing go together. And I think that, of course, I had a year and a half without, or, you know, to focus on just the healing and just make a little bit of music here and there throughout the tour, throughout the process, throughout that chunk of time. But yeah, I don't think one can happen without the other for me, which is nice.
Shut Up. Why was that the right record to start this album?
I think sonically it feels like an intro to me. And also kind of it sets the tone with like, hey, this is the level we're vibrating on. Let's rise above all the, let's celebrate what's good. Let's be who we are and say, shut up and block out all the, because let's embark on a fun, beautiful musical journey and tell everything else to shut up. It's like, I think that was sonically the right choice, and just the message I think is like kind of cute. I don't know.
Yeah,
and I love the connection between that and the 34-35. It's fun.
Well, because it's like from a Disney princess, it's the start of this fairy tale love story.
Yeah.
The strings, by the way, in almost every record on this album really set this beautiful through line from top to bottom. And it's like, it sounds so sonically connected.
I am glad to hear you say that, because I wanted to start, I mean, this isn't actually what ended up happening, but with Shut Up, it was, and with 34-35, it was, I wanted to start each song with just strings. So Peter would send me ideas and tracks that were just strings. And I wrote to those, and that was how we did it. Like, Peter would text me the strings, and like, we would start the song with just the strings, and then Tommy would go in, and Franks and Javi and everyone who worked on this project and would go in on the strings afterwards. So we would like get them and write to just the strings, which was a really fun part. But yeah, so me and Taylor and Mikey did Shut Up, and yeah, we just used all the notes on the scale, you know. Like, we were like, how can we make something that's fun lyrically and then also like so musical at the same time, so that it feels like orchestral and sophisticated, but lyrically it's kind of just like fun and chill and like, yeah.
So good. I mean, when you're crafting a record, who are you thinking about? Who are you talking to? Because clearly you're saying one thing to someone or a group of people. You're telling them to shut up. Is there someone you're thinking about when you're writing it?
Yeah, I think Shut Up, because we want it to not be too like aggressive or preachy. It's just kind of like an invite to, you know, act different and not spend so much time being negative and trying to not waste your energy talking about people you hate, or, you know, so it's kind of about, I think, like haters in a way, but not really, because that sounds so corny, because it's not. It's about people who you feel badly for because they just live in the negative world, and you want them to just come hang with, you know, me and Taylor and Mikey, and we, you know, vibe, whatever, like whatever, or whoever fits in that circle, our circle. It's kind of just, yeah, leaving space for them to be better.
I just think it's the perfect way to start the album. You're basically saying like, here's me, here's my album, these are my stories. If you don't like what I have to say, like, worry about something else. Stop focusing on hating on me and everything else.
Oh, sure. Yes. I love that that's what Dan says it means. I said yes.
Well, it's true, because before
no, it totally is, but you just said it in a way that was so much more direct than me being like, oh, the spiritual realm in which we survive is you know, like, shut up right now.
Well, yeah, because, you know, the album gets like much more mature lyrically wise than your other albums. So to me, it's like, if anybody has hate on it or hating on what you're saying, you're like, go back to Shut Up and listen to what I'm saying. Like,
sure, exactly. So it's basically like, if you can't get past track 1, start over.
Exactly.
But it is truly the perfect start to this. You know, the lyric that stands out to me, all them demons help me see differently, so don't be sad for me.
Thanks.
You're essentially saying you've made...
I wrote that part.
It is true, right? Like, you do have a different perspective. We all do. Our perspective is built off of what we experience.
Yeah.
And there are some demons in the path behind you.
Oh yeah. Wouldn't stand in that wake.
Yeah. but it...
Steer clear. All. By all means. Buckle up.
But it does affect how you step forward and how you navigate.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
And you're grateful for it.
I am grateful. I'm grateful. I wish, some of it had not happened, of course. But I think that I am very blessed to have the people in my life that I have, and friends like you, and the escape that is making this stuff. And I do see things a little differently. I think I have a major, I have a level of gratitude just to even be here anymore, that I'm just like, I'm good, all right.
34, 35.
Oh yeah, let's get in there.
I did the math on this, and I do believe it.
Did you use a calculator, Zach?
Yes, I ran out of fingers and toes.
You guys want to hear something embarrassing? I didn't do the math, and I didn't realize what the numbers were until the very last line of the song.
No, that's perfect. That's the experience that I want you to have. I love that. Please.
Well, why is this record important to the overall story you're telling in this album?
Oh, because I just think it's ridiculous and so funny and stupid. It's absolutely absurd. It was just a fun thing. Again, we heard the strings that sounded so like Disney and orchestral and full and pure. And I was just like, yo, what is the dirtiest possible, most opposing lyric that we could write to this? And I was sitting with Scott Nicholson the night that I started writing it. I was sitting with Scotty, and we basically, Scotty wrote the give me them babies line, which is my favorite thing in the world, is that Scott Nicholson is a writer on 34, 35. And maybe so. He was like, I was like, what comes after, I think I'm crazy, way I've been crazy, if I put it quite plain. And Scott was like, just give me them babies. And I was like, and he was like, I'm joking. And I was like, no, it's to print. We're doing it. It's done. It's perfect. Yeah, but it came up as a total joke. And then I fell in love with it. And then, Taylor and Victoria came and we wrote the bridge together, and, it was so much fun. And it was we finished it. We started it last year. And then we finished it months and months and months later, when I was like, oh, this needs to be on the album and it has to happen. And it was the night after that big earthquake, scared the shit out of me. And I was like, 4.5, and I made a magic. And it was after the 4.5 one. So that's why that lyric is there. Friends were like, wouldn't it be more than a 4.5? I feel like he's way stronger than 4.5. And I was like, yes, but the earthquake last night. Anyway. Sorry, I'm telling you the whole story of how everything came to be.
What do you think we're here for? I don't want to say the earthquake is the reason why, but it is the reason why we have that line. But what do you have the rest of the album and then go, there's a hole to fill, and we happen to have that one song that we did a year ago?
Yeah.
Could be perfect.
So the way I kind of like to move when I'm making stuff is I like to jump around. I don't like to finish things right when I start them. Like if I have a verse and a hook, I'll be happy, and then I'll be like, okay, let's start something new, or okay, let's do the second verse and then come back and blah, 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 blah. So I like to just kind of, when the ideas are there, go. And then when I feel like I'm working, when I feel like I just like to bounce around until something else comes up and that I hear something else that I like, and we'll start other ideas. And then at the end, we go back and we finish them.
Interesting. How do you know that it was time to hit pause on 34, 35? At what point did that song end and then you picked it up?
Oh yeah, when my mom got there.
Oh.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She was like, "Hi, Ariana," and I was like, "Billy, pause."
Can you talk about putting that verse together, the riding verse, the earthquake verse? How fun was that, building out those lyrics?
It was so much fun. Also, the thing about getting me, Vic, and Taylor in a room together is, it's just so fun, but also it's magical. When three besties sit down who know a lot about each other's lives and
intimately know each other.
Oh yeah, very intimately. I don't really work with people that I don't have a real friendship or relationship with, or that I don't feel immediately connected and obsessed with. I've been working with Victoria and Taylor since the first album. It's not even, and it's so much more than that. These are two women that mean so much to me. So it's so much fun. And my friend was there. My friend tagged along and was like, it took us like 30 minutes and to write the bridge, and Chase was like, you guys are, first of all, ruthless. Second of all, that was the most fun. Like, he was like, I can't believe that happened so quickly. And yeah, but it was really fun. But yeah.
Do you channel a different side of yourself for records like this, or is it all just one? Obviously, it's the different positions.
Yeah, I think the thing about this song that has been my fear since the beginning is that it would distract from the like vulnerability and the sweetness that is the rest of the album. It's very loving, it's very honest, it's very much a reflection of parts of my life, but also, you know, it's just a fun song, and it deserves a home on the album for sure, and that deserves to be written about for sure. But yeah, I don't know, it's just kind of like, I think that everything I do kind of has a little bit of humor in it for sure, and I think that people know that I'm not really like
Making somebody strap in.
sitting here till dawn, you know, like I'm not really, you know, unless they really think that, in which case I hope that they work on that. You know, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't know. I don't know. I've been very nervous about this one because I don't want it to distract from the rest of it. But I do love it. And sonically, it's like one of my favorite things we've ever done.
Let's go from a song that has humor to a song that, in my opinion, has no humor, but I can't listen to it and not cry. Off the Table.
Oh God, what a jump.
Yeah, totally different.
I'm here.
I've heard the song so many times now, and I cannot get through it without, I don't know, it's just such a beautiful song.
Thank you. Dan, have you heard it?
What?
Have you heard it?
Of course.
Okay, good. All right. Just want to make sure.
Was there an actual moment in your life where you genuinely thought that like love might not be possible again?
Yeah, I think that you fear that when you experience certain things and you go through like really traumatic. I think that your mind, you know, this wasn't written from a 100%. This is really how I feel, but that fear is something that exists, of course, in your head when you let the trauma part of your brain take the command seat. That of course exists, and your brain is constantly telling you, no, you don't deserve this, or no, this won't happen, or no, yes, this person is too good to be true, or yeah, you will, you know, be kind of just frozen in this period of recovery for the rest of your life. There are moments where that traumatic, the PTSD part of your brain takes the command seat and tells you those things. So I think this was written from that place and not from a real, I'm in my right mind and I know that I deserve love place. It was just from a fear place, but it deserves to be expressed, and I think it deserves to come out. And I think that once you write something, it kind of goes away a little bit as well. I think that expressing it made it feel so much less legitimate.
Yeah, I understand. Like you, it's like an insecurity that you have. That's not, you're kind of saying it's a fear, but by getting it out into the world and writing it, the fear loses its value, and you realize how ridiculous the fear is, and then you're able to open yourself up to love, or at least look for it.